Alright guys, that was episode number 17 called Blackout. It's time for the episode review. I'm going to tell you guys what I liked, what I didn't like, and I'm going to give this episode a score. So, starting with what I didn't like about the episode, I did notice, actually, I can't really think of anything major, but there were a few things I'd like to address. The animation, while good in this episode, I did notice there were some very small animation errors here and there. I can't really find one specifically, but if I can find one, I'll probably put it over while I'm talking right now. If not, then just disregard that. There was a bit of character sizing issues, maybe, I want to say, but that could have also been perspective in some camera shots of the character standing side by side. I noticed that Tails seemed really small compared to the others. I know he's shortest, he's like the shortest of the group, but he's not that small. But then again, it could have been perspective and how the scene was shot. Maybe they were more elevated or closer to the camera, so they seemed taller than they actually were. There were a few scenes that I did think went on just a little bit too long, and I think it was to pad out the length of the episode because they have to hit about 11 to 12 minutes per episode, so I think there was some needed padding time, like when they were snowboarding, or rather snowboarding up the mountain. That scene could have been a little bit shorter, but again, minor nitpicks. Also, there may have been some consistency issues, such as when they got back to the outskirts of the village, it was daytime, and they had the crystal, and then moments later we flashed to the village where it's still dark. Maybe, you know, I don't know, it doesn't seem like the outskirts of the village and the inside of the village would be that far away from each other, unless it's like way out there is when they got to the snow part. But I think Tails said it was like 2 minutes away from the village, so I don't know. I'll have to do a background check on that, and if I'm wrong, then again, disregard this part completely. But as for the things I did like, there was no forced Eggman battle this time around. Good. There has been a little bit less of that lately. I've noticed they haven't really been doing the end of Eggman fights as much as they did in Season 1. They found new ways to end it without having to shoehorn him in. Granted, he did show up in this episode. He did serve his purpose, basically to say, hey, I'm not doing anything this time around. Power went out. It's also bad for me, too. Also got a good zinger joke in there, too, making fun of Orbot and Cubot. Can we just talk about the references? There was Indiana Jones reference in there, too, actually, the music and the actual moving of the statue, like the Temple of Doom shenanigans. What else? I guess the small nods to like things like the bounce pad, by the way, which is a callback to Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, which was a word, or rather a phrase they uttered a lot. Every time you hit like a spring, they would say that. It got super annoying, but I'm glad they referenced that in the show, so that's super meta now. What else? Stick's not wearing the Illuminous outfit kind of makes sense considering she's anti-technology, and I don't think she actually has an Ender Beam. Maybe she does. I don't think she does, because we don't even see her playable in Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, so we wouldn't know. Maybe she has used the Ender Beam before. I want to say she hasn't, but I could be wrong on that one. We got to see the Sonic Boom crew wearing new outfits, though they were more just for the setting of the snow-related thing that they were trekking through. I thought it was a nice little touch to see them dressed up a little bit. There's probably a few more things that I'm missing off the top of my head, but those are the main things I really liked about this episode. Other than them also making a little more village lore, so I guess the village now runs on these, what are these things called? Something crystals? Emerald crystals? Something crystals? Whatever they're called. Technology, or the electricity in the village is run by that. Who knows what else the village is also run on with this ancient technology? Who knows? They might even be on top of like an ancient, like, I don't know, weapon or something. Who knows how deep they'll go with this, but we seem to be going further and further down the rabbit hole, so let's see how that plays out. Oh, one last thing is there was a nice little callback between Tails and Zoe. You know, they're dating, or maybe they're just friends now, who knows. They didn't really go into it, but I assume since he's writing her, they're still seeing each other or whatever, but yeah, whatever. It was a nice little callback, especially to Season 1, because we haven't really seen Zoe since then, but there she was. Nice. So on a whole, this was a solid episode. Nothing really offensive, nothing really bad. I will go ahead and give this episode a 8.4 out of 10. Good is what I'd use to describe this episode. That's the word I'd use. But let me all know what you guys thought of this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Or did you think it was a mad burger? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the Wolfie Reaction for more videos like this one. My name has been Wolfie, guys, and I will see you all next time. So stay tuned.
Stop! Who approacheth the bridge of death must answer me these questions three. The other side he see.
Ask me the questions, Bridgekeeper. I'm not afraid.